Bună seara tuturor! Astăzi am deosebită plăcere de a-l avea alături de mine pe un extraordinar om, în primul și în primul rând. I'm going to continue to talk in English because until now I said that tonight I have the great pleasure of having besides me an excellent human being. Vasileios, please tell us some things about you.
Thank you for having me. It's my second time in Romania, I guess in Bucharest, for the courses. I'm coming originally from Greece. I used to be a clinician until 2014, and then I moved to Doha and worked as a clinical lead physiotherapist at Aspetar, a hospital. And a couple of years ago, I quitted my job and moved to London and teach as a lecturer at the King's College over there. Last year, I stopped working over there. I quit my job and now I'm just teaching courses and seminars in Greece and Europe.
So you had quite an interesting career so far. There were a lot of changes, and we all know that changes in life are very provocative. How was getting out of Greece and moving to a country where you didn't know anyone?
Life is choices. And the motto of my life for the last few years is, if you're not happy with what you're doing and you're not smiling during your working hours for more than 2 months, you need to change job. So this is how I moved from Greece to Doha, despite I had to figure out where is Doha and Qatar in general by opening Google Maps. Though I had a friend over there working, that he introduced me to the culture and all this stuff. So that's why I made the application. It was the opportunity of my life and I took it.
I know what Aspetar means, but maybe some of our followers or viewers don't know anything, like you didn't know where Doha is on the map. So please tell us just a few things about what Aspetar represents and what all this clinic and hospital is.
Aspetar is a vision of one person that managed to gather together great minds. So they developed a place that is a dreamland of every health professional. It's not all about physiotherapy, it's about doctors, it's about nurses, sport rehab, post-op rehab, massage therapists, support from any kind of healthcare professional like dietitians, psychologists. You have everything under one roof. The person that had the idea, it's one of the rulers of the country. It's a very good person with a big vision and dream. And he managed to do this place, how can I say it and do not exaggerate or even and that's the meaning of what is Aspetar. Aspetar is a place that you will get all the opportunities in order to develop and improve as a person, as a professional, and you will help the profession go forward. And it doesn't matter if you're a physiotherapist or a healthcare provider. That's the thing.
So it was a place where you developed.
Yes.
And a place which left you with a very important baggage and a very important background afterwards.
The thing that made it different compared to what I used to know in the past is that this organization, this is a house of a lot of people. They take care of you and they invest in your improvement. Because if you invest in the improvement and the knowledge of your employees, you're growing as an organization, you provide better quality services. This is what I received from this organization, and I try to give my best towards them.
So investing in education and investing in self-development
Yes.
Is not something that only the leaders should do.
No, everybody should do this. It's not only the leader. A quality leader is the person that knows how to distribute the works that needs to be done to the right persons. This means from my perspective, to be a good leader. So if you want to have an organization that is providing the best service available, you need to have people of quality. And you need to educate these people. And along with the education of your employees, you educate your leaders, because everybody has to move forward.
Yeah, because if the leaders don't move forward, then the people will surpass them.
Exactly, probably. Maybe this will happen, but this is for the first time in my life, during my working hours, I had 1 hour off every Tuesday for a lecture.
Okay.
Every week, except a few months that is during festive times and seasons. But every Tuesday morning, there was a specialist giving a lecture to the whole department, if we were interested in, to block our time and attend, with regards to one special issue. So you might be able to watch healthcare providers from all over the world traveling around and giving lectures, to give you a lecture for one specific thing, or even a PhD student that finished their PhD and they presenting their work. So it's a part of education, broad education, but actually related with our profession, because the hospital used to be sports and orthopedics.
Okay, so Tuesday, it was like
1 hour blocked.
1 hour blocked, all Tuesdays. And at one point, you were one of those people who gave lectures, no?
Yes.
Okay, how was to pass from the place of receiving to the place of giving and offering?
Sometimes if you feel ready to give something, it's about time to start and process this into your mind. It's not a very easy thing. Even now that I have given a lot of lectures, I'm presenting in conferences in front of a lot of people, you get this feeling in the beginning of the stiffness, and then you are feeling much better after a few minutes, probably. It's a good feeling that gives you the feeling that you are getting better as the years go by, and you need to distribute this knowledge, because if we don't share our knowledge, we will not be better clinicians. And that's not the field of work or the field of interest that we're involved in.
I think that providing information, offering, teaching is both challenging and at the same time offers you a lot of responsibilities. Mm-hmm. How do you manage to keep the balance between the two of them? Because sometimes we would like to please the crowd, let's say the people that attend, but in the same time we have the moral issue to offer the correct content.
I will agree that we disagree. Okay, I don't think that this is the main idea behind teaching. First of all, I will say that I became, I'm coming from a clinical background. Mm-hmm. So I was not a teacher. I used to be a clinician and used to treat patients for lots of years. So this gives me the insight of the clinical world. That makes you completely different in terms of teaching something that you know in theory compared to teaching something that you know from experience or from practice. So this made me having a different viewpoint in terms of how I'm going to teach people, by taking examples of my own career and by giving answers to my own questions through this process. So I'm kind of be critical while I'm teaching, and I'm giving perspectives from a different view or a different angle, trying to stimulate critical thinking and clinical reasoning. This is it, because I believe that when you educate people, you need to stimulate them in order to proceed with the process, instead of taking knowledge as a package without even thinking or processing it.
So we
probably agree.
We agree
somewhat
more than we disagree. Yeah. So you moved through all these different parts of the same career, because you are still developing, and now you are teaching mostly seminars and private seminars. And I know that there is a big discussion that the biggest amount of knowledge that the physiotherapy has after graduating is from this type of seminars, not from university-based seminars and not from other type of organized courses. What do you think about it?
First of all, I will tell you that I have a couple of positions as an affiliated researcher with universities. So I'm involved in research and PhD students, plus master students. I'm not only teaching in courses. I will always be interested in keeping a footprint in academia instead of losing completely the contact with academia. With regards to your question, a few years ago, 6 or 7 researchers, we did this study by asking clinicians from all over the world, and this study is published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine, I think 2022 or 19, I don't remember exactly. And the major question that we did in over 2,000 physiotherapists from the 5 continents was this simple question. Think about the last thing that you changed in your clinical practice. And when we say thing, is probably a strategy, a technique, a reasoning, whatever. And we want to know, how did you learn about this? So it was shocking that only 8%, and I'm just overestimating a bit the percentage, of the clinicians, of the physiotherapists worldwide, if I can generalize these results based on 2,200 individuals in this survey, they change their clinical practice by reading a research article from a journal. Over 50% of the professionals, they change their clinical practice by attending a seminar. However, I'm not against the seminars because this is my job for the moment, or at least a big amount of my job. The problem is that all these seminars are not assessed by a body or an association. So we don't have, as healthcare providers, a standard way of assessing and evaluating the private seminars that are sold all over the world. So I agree with knowledge through courses, but I disagree with the way that all these courses are delivered without a specific quality management or an organization that can do this.
It should be a standard committee supervising or trying to analyze the contents and the information delivered to the physios.
I think it should be something more strategic, because in order to evaluate a course, you probably should attend it, or even by going through the slides of a course, of a 2-day course, or the curriculum. This does not give you the whole picture, because the curriculum is just something that is written. The slides, it's something that is over there, and it's knowledge that we share from, I don't say we steal, I say we share from other sources. However, the heart of the seminar, the heart of the course is the presenter. And you may see there's presenters that are gifted, some others that are boring, and some others that are interested, and some others that are not good. So I think it's multifactorial. It's not just a simple body that has to do the evaluation of the course. Probably it's a process that has to be done through a repetition of the course and the attendance of different people. And as a committee, they will decide what is okay and what is not. And I guess this is not something that we will be able to see in the near future.
Yeah, it's quite
because the market is open.
Yeah, it's open, it's international, and it's quite difficult to have everything under control. But at one point, maybe something will happen in this direction. Maybe, who knows?
We hope that something will happen. However, people, and it doesn't matter the profession that we come from, we are quite interested in something that is fancy, it's new, it's Instagrammable, whatever. So we select and we do choices that are not based on quality or other factors. And always, I used to say this the last few years in my talks when I'm invited to give a speech in a conference. It's a bit of I will use a bad word, but I don't think it's going to be a problem. I'm sure you're aware about the Brandolini's law, or the bullshit asymmetry principle. What this means, the energy that is required, the amount of energy that is required to dispute or discuss against a bullshit that is related to, let's say, with our profession, is a class bigger than what is required in order to produce it. So there is no reason to be involved in something and changing the mentality or the process of everybody selects their way of education or their way of improving their environment or their work.
Do you, because of all this involvement that you have, do you feel responsible about the people that you are teaching, about what they are going to do in their practice after they leave the seminar?
Of course, I feel responsible because in some cases there is misunderstandings, and then you may hear from Andrei that Vasileios told me to do this. And I said, I never told something like that because you perceived my words in a different way. That doesn't mean I said that. So I took a little bit of defensive strategy. So every time I discuss about my personal opinion, I make a statement, this is my personal opinion. Or every time I discuss about something that is not based or backed up by evidence, I will say this is not evidence-based. It's something that I read or something that I think is going to work, all based on simple clinical reasoning. So this changed my way of teaching and my way of transferring knowledge just to be on the safe side. The misunderstandings will always be present in this environment.
Yeah, it's quite difficult to have everybody understand the exact words that we are transmitting, and sometimes the nuances that they have and the things lost in translation because your native language is not English, my native language is not English, so and the attendees sometimes are from different countries, from different culture and so on. So we need to accept that we cannot deliver anything in the way that we want to deliver or the full quality that we want to deliver, but this is life.
I totally agree with you. There is something that may has the potential to improve these misunderstandings, simplicity. When I say simplicity, if we will try to deliver or transfer knowledge in a way that is not quite complicated. I'm not discussing about complicated way of thinking. I'm discussing about complicated statements within the presentation. Probably if we split everything into small boxes and try to transfer the knowledge as it is, but in simple words, maybe we will improve the absorption of the knowledge in the right way instead of misunderstandings.
Okay, so better transfer of knowledge, it's transferring simpler knowledge than a more complex one, or to divide the complex one.
Break it in pieces. Make everything more understandable, improve the comprehensiveness of the content and the comprehensibility of the content of your presentations by discussing not in
fancy words and
and terminology, and giving more examples, because as you know, there is so many ways of people having the ability to learn. Some others are ready to learn from theory, some others are more keen in learning of through practicing, some others through experience. So we need to be adaptable and try to adjust our presentations according to the crowd that we
attendees. Yeah. So tell us, what is your main topic of interest, or which are the main interests of yours in the last years?
Musculoskeletal disorders, conditions, and this type of stuff. I'm not into geriatrics, I'm not into cardiopulmonary, I'm not into pain itself, though I know a few things about pain and a few words to make me feel better, like prefrontal lobe, and you know this word. But my field is MSK and sports. I'm really into clinimetrics, systematic reviews and methodology, plus return to sports criteria, ACL rehabilitation, tendinopathies, and blood flow restriction training. These are my fields of interest.
Okay. I would like to end this discussion like this, with your areas of interest, because I think it would be nicer to split the fields of interest and discuss each one separately, So thank you very much for your introduction and for your speech so far.
You're welcome, and thank you very much for having me here. And before we close this, I would like to tell you something because you're in the process of your PhD. I should have said that I have a PhD in biomechanics, and I was involved in research with regards to sitting posture. But what we do in a certain time of our life does not define us for the future. So we maybe have done some stuff in the past, but we leave this stuff in the past and we move forward, and we're more interested or intrigued or pulled by other stuff. That this is life. This is life, and this is how things move forward. And again, thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.